Hey, today our identity statement, our declaration is, I am an exile. I'm a foreigner. I am an exile. That doesn't sound very positive, does it? It doesn't sound like it's a great thing, but it really is. Let's think about it. What that means is we are no longer residents of this world. We are residents of another kingdom. For instance, we live here, and most of you live here in the United States. Some of my followers are not from the United States. And we have privileges and rights, and we understand how things work, and we're very, as Americans, almost arrogant in our ability to have what we consider our free speech, our freedom of religion, and so many other religions. And so what happens, my husband and I kind of shake our heads when we see those who go to another country who don't have the freedoms that we do, and think because they're Americans they can do what they want to do, and they end up being put in jail, right? It's really sad. But it reminds me of, we are here on this earth, and we are really citizens of another country, of another place, of heaven, right? Of the kingdom of God, specifically. And as we think about that, a couple of examples come to my mind. If I lived in Mexico, I don't speak Spanish. I wish I did, because we have such a large Hispanic community here in the area that I live in. And or I lived in Spain, or I lived in Portugal, or let's say I lived in Africa or Europe somewhere, or Russia. I would not, other than mostly Europe, France maybe, I wouldn't speak their language. And I wouldn't speak their language. I speak English, American English, right? But what happens here is we forget, because we're Christians, that we think we should still talk like the people who are here, who are residents here. And we sometimes it doesn't compute that what other people are saying, that they really mean it, or they don't get what we think when we think of certain words. And so it's important for us to remember that we are foreigners here, and they don't understand us, and a lot of times we don't understand them. And so it takes work sometimes to understand people who are not believers, and it takes extra patience to understand them and to work so they understand who we are. Other than language, let's say I went to Europe, or let's say to England, who speaks the King's English, right? But still, they have a different way of life than we do. And I still wouldn't fit in. And I think it's important for us to remember that we shouldn't try to fit in, because we aren't citizens of this world. We're not citizens of, per se, countries in the aspect that I'm explaining it. We are spiritual people. We belong to a new kingdom, to a new realm, and that our allegiance is to that realm. Certainly we are kind, we are considerate, we attempt to get people to come to our new country, to our new kingdom, to the spiritual realm, right? But we'll never ever be accepted here, because we live in a different place. We live with different language. We live with different values. We live with different purposes and callings. And so the times when I don't fit in, and when I offend people, not because I'm being obnoxious, of which I can at sometimes, but just because of who I am, it makes me smile, because it makes me believe that who I am, that I'm being seen as a foreigner, that I'm being seen as someone who doesn't fit. And for me, not fitting here is a good thing, and I hope it is for you too. And so let's today rejoice that we are foreigners, that we are exiles here on the earth, and that we belong to the kingdom. See you next time.